For anyone tuning in for our reclassifying a van as a motor caravan video, apologies. We'll release that video next. After being witness to a sobering but dramatic fire on our last trip, this is an unplanned video about fire protection and safety. Keep watching and we'll share some first-hand tips with you on how to stay safe from fire in your van.
Thanks for watching our video, and as always, if you have any questions or feedback, please pop them in the comments below. If you find the video useful, please like, share and consider subscribing. The topic of this video has potential safety implications for you and your van. Although I have experience of van life, I'm not a fire safety expert, therefore any information I share is purely my opinion. What you choose to install in your van is entirely your own choice, and it's your responsibility to ensure it meets your needs and is safe. While on our last trip, we were woken in the middle of the night to the sound of shouting and explosions. On looking outside, the raging inferno we saw had us rushing to get the family together to be prepared to get away from the danger. Thankfully, everybody was out of what turned out to be 2 caravans and a car that were well alight, and the wind was mercifully sending the flames, smoke and flying embers away from the rest of the other pictures. But we were concerned about the risk of gas bottles exploding or the wind changing, so we were getting ready to evacuate if needed. Thankfully, it didn't take long for the fire service to arrive, take control and reassure us. Reviewing the scene the next day and chatting to those involved made us think about our fire plans, so I wanted to share some of these with you. From looking at our CCTV footage, we could see that the first signs of smoke to a full-on blaze was only 8 minutes, which was quite a scary thought. Prevention is better than cure. It's pretty obvious, isn't it? Stopping a fire starting in the first place is much better than having to fight it.
When choosing equipment for your van, you may choose looks or price over functionality, but some camper or caravan specific equipment has safety features that you might want to think about.
Camper hobs and ovens have secured burners with gas shut off if the flame goes out and auto shut off if the lid is closed. Carver Cascade water heaters have a low-tech but effective wax plug. If the unit ever overheats, the wax plug melts, which causes the water in the heater to extinguish the burner. Most caravan and campervan space heaters have an oxygen sensor which will switch off the heater if the oxygen level gets low. Mains electrical installations designed for use inside a metal van have the correct earthing to help prevent electrical faults. Copper gas pipe is far more suitable for gas installations than a flexible rubber hose. Picking the right sized cables and fuses for your load will help prevent overloading and fire risk. And when putting your van together, the use of fire retardant materials for insulation, building and furnishings would be a sensible option.
Whilst there are limited regulations for gas and electricity if you're converting a van for yourself, it will make sense to make the van as safe as you can.
Fitting to the standards that are available for professional installations will ensure you're as safe as possible. These documents give the information for the installation of LPG systems and electrical installation in campervan and caravans. When you've finished, consider getting it checked. Some insurance companies insist on it, and it'll also help you if you come to sell it. If you're not sure of your competence, use an expert or get expert advice.
A lack of common sense or a brief slip in concentration is probably the biggest cause of fires.
Always pay attention when cooking and don't leave it unattended. We all love the ambience of a candle, but be careful. Make sure they're in a stable and suitable holder away from flammable materials, or maybe even avoid them altogether. Some electric candles can be pretty effective at creating ambience. Don't leave clothes to dry on or near a heater. This is one of the biggest causes of fires in caravans and mobile homes. And don't overload your electrics.
Whilst getting out of your van has to be the priority, it might be possible to fight a small fire if you've got the right equipment.
A Smoke alarm should give you an early warning to a problem. We went for one that combined a carbon monoxide detector and importantly had a mute button for when cooking, which reduces the sensitivity for a set time, as taking the battery out whilst cooking to stop an alarm sounding and then forgetting to put it back is a big risk. I've added a link to our choice of alarm in the video description. Make sure your alarm's mounted as instructed. Test it as part of your routine. Don't forget to maintain it. Have you vacuumed your alarm recently? And change the battery as soon as you're instructed.
There are pros and cons to most types of fire extinguishers, so have a think about how and when you would use it.
We avoided carbon dioxide due to the physical size and impact on visibility and breathing when used in an enclosed space. Dry powder's compact and effective on most types of fires. However, it's messy to clear up and can also impact visibility and breathing. Foam is more directional, easier to clean up, unlikely to impact visibility and breathing, but extinguishers are large and some cannot be used in the vicinity of mains electricity. F-Exx foam is an innovative new type of foam extinguisher. It can be used on all types of fire, including cooking oil, fuel and electrical up to 1000 volts. It's directional, light, small and easy to use. The details of the tests it's been put through are on the manufacturer's website and its performance is pretty impressive. Fire blanket is easy to use and leaves no mess. Make sure you buy an approved one. There are some fakes out there, so be careful.
Having seen the demos of it in use and reviewed the test results, I've recently added a F-Exx foam fire extinguisher to our dry powder and fire blanket. Hopefully you'll never have to put it into action, but having a plan will make it a lot easier if you ever have to.
Position your firefighting equipment appropriately and make sure everyone knows where it is and how to use it. Also make sure you notice where any on-site firefighting equipment is. Know where you can isolate your gas supply, ideally at the bottle, but if you can't get to it, the manifold. Would you have your keys to hand to access your gas bottle from the outside? Think about your evacuation plan. What would you do if your main exit was blocked, either by a fire in your van or another vehicle on fire outside? What other exits do you have? The driver's, passenger doors, windows, skylights? Which do you keep accessible when you're parked up? When parking vehicles, try and leave a fire break of at least 6 metres and be able to move your vehicle quickly if it's at risk. Keep your ignition key somewhere where you can find it easily. Who's going to do what in the event of a fire? Who gets the keys, the kids, the pets, fire extinguishers or raises the alarm? When it comes to calling the fire service, do you know the number for the country you're in? 112 will work in all EU countries, including the UK, and it also overrides the setting in a mobile phone to increase the chance of getting through. If you're not on an easily locatable site, have or be able to get a map reference to give the fire service. There are a number of apps that will give you this information. I like Where Am I At, which gives you all the information you need in one tap. What 3 words is also an easy way to communicate your location accurately to a 3 metre by 3 metre square anywhere in the world using 3 unique words. The UK emergency services accept this as an accurate location, other countries may too. If you camp off-site, abroad or in different locations regularly, you may want to make up a quick reference card to remind you in emergency where you are.
I know a lot of this information is obvious or some may consider it over the top, but having a close experience with a fire has made us rethink some of our plans. I hope some of you find it useful, but never have to experience it and you all stay safe.
In our next video we'll share with you the process of reclassifying your van as a motor caravan with the DVLA, why you would do it and some tips to do it smoothly. Coming up in future weeks as the weather gets hotter, we share our views on the different types of Campervan Fridge and the apps that help us make our life easier.